Hello.
Welcome to the section of the podcast where only YouTuber people after the fact are listening.
Yeah.
So, how you been, Biggs?
I've been good. How have you been?
I've been good. It's kind of funny because it sounds like to them we just started talking, but we've been having our own little conversation for an hour.
Yeah, we've been prepping our
Yep.
topics to get you guys entertained.
So,
How do you
Donald Trump, how about that?
do? Donald Trump. To start that, Donald Trump.
Yeah, because when you talk about some junk topics, here we go.
Yeah,
Get-
Donald Trump.
He's my best
To be
bud.
honest, you're gonna know more than that because it's a good thing because you've got like two opinions. You've got an outsider opinion because I'm from England, so it doesn't affect me.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got your opinion where you're actually.
I'm in. I'm on the inside.
The potential is there that he may be your president.
Yeah. So it is no secret that I am a minority. I am Puerto Rican, and I think he said something. What?
What?
You brown fancy?
I'm leaving.
Oh damn. I think he said something. You think he's like, because Puerto Rico is like it's like a territory of the United States, and we're here because I guess the United States is nice enough to give us citizenship, but we're also independent. Also,
Okay.
Puerto Rico is like, ooh, Skype, professionalism. Let's turn that off. Aw. Oh, so we were gonna invite Captain on.
Oh, is he ready?
No, he's not home. But like, I started the stream before I got a response from him.
Oh,
What friend I am. So
you tweet out about this.
yeah, I think tweet out about this hot topic.
Yeah.
I think he said something like, "Oh man, these Puerto Ricans taking our jobs." Like, no, we have no money. What are you talking about, fool?
But there's so many stupid things that he said that it's unbelievable. The thing that shocks me the most is that it's not that Donald Trump is doing what he's doing and says what he says.
The
It's
people
the
are
fact that, yeah, it's that there's so many people out there that agree with him, and I think that,
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about Donald Trump, and why I don't care about Donald Trump. I believe that this all started from a joke. It's like, Donald, you've done everything. You could even be the president. And he's like, ha, wait.
maybe I can.
Like, why not? What's stopping me? What would stop me? It's like, your bigoted personality? Nah, it's okay. Because, like,
It is a scary thought though that someone like that can get so much support.
so if you have money, you can be president. It doesn't matter what it is. Because you just need, the only thing is that, here we go. Everyone's like, Bernie Sanders is the greatest guy ever. You probably don't even know who he is.
Yeah, I know. He's the old guy.
Yeah, he's the old guy that's on Reddit and everyone loves him because they're trying to get the word out. But the thing is that you don't know about him. He doesn't have like the advertising like.
Yeah, the backing and stuff, right?
Yeah.
'Cause a lot of these presidential candidates have like backing from companies and all that. And didn't he like refuses to get any backing from someone?
Yes.
I know a little bit about it.
And the thing is that when you don't get backing, you don't get your name out there.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump does everything to get his name out. He's literally being like for lack of a better word, view whore of YouTube,
Yeah.
except for the presidential campaign. Like he's just like he'll do anything because
Yeah.
everyone covers him. They're just like, oh my god, what did Donald Trump say this time? And the thing is that like a lot of times the media will take a lot of things that he says. I don't support Donald Trump. I like my rights, but he says some things that have been taken way out of line, like and then twisted to give like a different opinion of Donald Trump, just so that the media can have something to say about him. And yet, that's what's fueling his campaign is the advertisement, the free advertisement from everyone's like, oh my god, let's talk about Donald Trump. We're advertising his campaign right now, talking about him.
Yeah, true.
So
It is true.
he said something like, it's something stupid, very, very stupid. The stupidest thing he could have ever said was, let's deny refuge and deport all Muslims from the United States. At face value, that sounds like possibly the worst. That sounds like presidential suicide.
Uh-huh.
Now, what he actually said was, it was still stupid, and he meant it in good heart. He's like, these extremists, why are they becoming extremists? Obviously, like, this is a problem. It's not just like a one case thing. Islamic extremists like are everywhere. Not like everywhere, but like they come out of nowhere. Why don't for now we stop refuge until they can explain themselves or have
did
them?
He actually say refuge? Or did he say?
He should have said something else, but he
said stop all
Muslims
entering the United States. Now,
I'm
that's
paraphrasing to like what he meant. He meant like, you know, like you're adding all these people that really could be Islamic terrorists, like at least a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
What he meant, yeah, that's what he meant. Like he's like, these refugees are coming in by the thousands. Maybe one of them is an Islamic extremist, and maybe one of them might do like some harm to someone. Let's stop that until they or we can figure out what is going on. That's what he said.
But
What he said is like deny all Muslims from entering the United States.
But even if he meant what you said,
It's still stupid.
Here's my argument to that: is that since 9/11, when is the last time America has had any terrorist attack from a foreign terrorist? All of the terrorist attacks have been homegrown in America since 9/11. Whether it's been the Boston bombings, they were in them. I know they weren't originally from America, but they've been in America for a very long time. And then the one in San Bernardino recently, they're all technically homegrown terrorists. So you can stop every single Muslim coming into America. It's not going to.
They're already here.
Muslims that are already there. Yeah,
and we're
so
the thing is
I
that
can't
the
see
world
how
is connected. You know, just because you're in America doesn't mean like, you know, like you are American. You could be anything. You know,
exactly.
It doesn't matter where they are, and if they're here already.
Mm-hmm.
And by Donald, and then I don't know if he said deport Muslims or just stop them from entering.
It's like you said. He said we should put a hold. He
Yeah.
didn't say stop. You should put a hold on all Muslims entering the US until we figure out what's going on. That was the thing.
Because and that's a stupid idea, but his intentions weren't as malicious as portrayed, because they. I remember I was watching like a coverage on it.
You can only judge someone based on their past actions.
Yeah, and what they
Now,
say.
based on what everything he said about other people. Let's take Muslims out of it. Based on everything he said about other people, you can't take his comment about Muslims in any other way.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm not like defending the guy because like he's still an idiot. I don't want him to be president. But what I'm saying is that like there's two things happening. One, he's intentionally being an idiot to get coverage. Two, people are severely manipulating a lot of things that he says, even though they're stupid idiotic statements.
Mm-hmm.
Not nearly as bad as what is made it out to, because they will. I remember I was watching the coverage of it, and it just had the clip like, we need to like remove all Muslims from America, whatever, and that was it. Left out the part before, left out the part after, you know, explaining his stupid remark. I don't even know if it was a suggestion, like I suggest or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess on the whole Donald Trump subject, it's just scary to me that so many people are supporting him. That's the scary part.
Because it's almost like I said before, it's almost like a parody. Like, if this guy can get big in the United States, what's wrong with us? Like, what are we doing wrong?
It is crazy. Like, I think I saw I don't know what it was. I think it might have been a meme or whatever. It's just like saying the modern day Hitler, and it is like that because the thing he's saying is not far off things that people like Hitler would say.
The thing is, though, Hitler gained exceptional popularity. It wasn't until after the fact he started, you know, suggesting his final solution and such. He was exceptionally popular and a great speaker. Everyone knew about him. Everyone was like, this guy, what could go wrong? It was only after the fact. It was like, I'm in power now. Let's slowly, you know, start twisting things. And you could suggest that history repeats itself. You could also suggest that Donald Trump doesn't want to kill millions of Muslims. You don't know, but right now, don't let him become president. But
it is comical because who hasn't Donald Trump offended? Like during his campaign, the only people he hasn't offended are white people.
Yeah.
So
Okay, here
you can understand why people call him a racist because I think he said stuff about Mexicans, right? About I can't remember what he said, but he said some offensive stuff about Mexicans. I think he said stuff about black people, saying like about Obama doesn't even care about black people or something like that, and now he's attacking Muslims. It's like, who hasn't he offended?
he's like South Park.
It's like that's what I mean. It's comical. I wouldn't be surprised, like you said, if it all came out and just like, yeah, I was just doing it for self-promotion. Now everyone in the world knows who Donald Trump is if you didn't know already.
That's why I don't take him seriously. And the thing is that a lot of people do take him seriously. Like, honestly, I feel like it's a joke, and he joke gone too far, and now he has to roll with it. It's almost like he's trying to say stuff to get people to not like him. He's like, I tried deport all Muslims, they're still voting.
Yeah, because which president comes out and says, "I would just bomb him"? Who says that?
I don't know. What person that wants to be president would say something like that?
It's crazy to me.
It's a whole lot of crazy. Don't let him be president. It's all a joke. I'm calling it right now. He's gonna come out. He's gonna say like, "Guys, what are you doing?"
You know what's even more crazy is that he's Republican, right?
Yeah.
And Republicans have like a reputation of being like that kind, not as extreme as Donald Trump is, but
that's what I'm saying. It's a parody. It's all a joke of the Republican Party.
They have a reputation of being like that, but the funny thing is, it's like he's ruining the reputation of the Republican even worse than what he was before.
He's hired by Bernie Sanders. He's destroying the Republican Party to create a new liberal society.
Yeah, because wasn't there something that they said about if Donald Trump was to win, there would be the parts of the Republican Party would like defect and create their own independent party if he was to win.
Donald Trump may be the smartest person we've ever known.
Yeah, and he comes out and he says, "Oh, what's the your other party? What is it? Republicans,
Democrats."
Yeah, imagine that. At the end, he's like, "I'm actually a Democrat."
And I actually don't want to deport all minorities from the United States.
I was just proving how bad Republicans are.
So now we're so here we go. This is the way to redeem himself. If he wants to like rule the world, he has to say this was all inside job to like make America great again. There we go. I just won you the presidency, Donald Trump. By destroying the Republican Party and proving that democratic society is the thing is that people are voting for him though. That's the problem.
You should have bets on when he's gonna back out, because I think he will. I don't think he will go all the way. I don't think he will, even if he's the favorite. I don't think he'll go all the way.
I don't know. Like
I think he'll back out.
Because who wants to be president? That's stressful. I don't want to be president. I just want like a nice car. That's it.
I think every candidate that wants to become president don't realize the like behind the scenes of becoming a president. I guarantee there's so much, not saying work or anything, but there's so much kind of like, what's the word? Just
responsibility?
Like corruption.
Oh, corruption.
I think there's so much corruption behind being a president, as in like every kid dreams like, oh, when you're president you can just do whatever you want, but I don't think you can.
No,
it's
not
to
at
the
all.
point where like you pretty much can't do anything. It's not what you think it is.
You can't even you can't buy your own eggs.
Yeah, but you can't say like, oh, I want everything in this country to be like this. It doesn't work like that, you know? And I think that's the dream, but that's not reality.
It's almost like you're just a face.
Yeah, you are. You're just the face of the country.
I don't even know. Congress has more power than the president.
Yeah.
I need to take a U.S. government class so I can be more informed on this. But it's not. Yeah, I don't know. If I was Donald Trump, I wouldn't want to be a president.
Yeah,
he's got all the money in the world. Who cares?
But that's the thing. Even if Donald Trump did become president, there's so many people, like you said, Congress and stuff, to stop him doing the stupid stuff that he would do.
Yeah, you can't do that. It wouldn't work. It's like, hey, I'm going to deport all Muslims. No.
Yeah, because he doesn't need to pass a vote and stuff, and that would just never happen anyway.
Yeah, I don't want to like start talking like I don't know as much as I'd like to on the U.S. government, so I'm not just going to make assumptions. But
yeah.
I doubt he can do, yeah, like you said, all the stuff that he wants to do. And I think it's just, honestly, I think it's just suggestions, and it's getting his name out there. He's very popular. Everyone knows Donald Trump now. If you didn't already, you know him. He's no longer the guy that's like, you're fired from the one TV show. He's like the idiot who almost became president.
But maybe that, like you said, maybe that was the master plan.
Mm-hmm.
Now everyone in the world knows who Donald Trump is, whether you did or you didn't.
And here, the guy's set for, if he wasn't already set for life, he's set for life. Start a reality show, you know, making all the money. Like, he doesn't have, it's all, it was all a ruse to, like, show off his new sports drink company.
I think so.
Donald Trump.
Crazy.
Better than all of us. So, welcome to the Pseudo-Serious podcast with myself, Biggs. Today we're actually going to talk about things that aren't Donald Trump.
Yeah, it's just a good way to start.
Yeah, because last time we kind of just talked around, but I think we should have like a like the bonus topic before everyone's here, so when you watch after the fact, you can catch up on it. Mm-hmm. I kind of like that idea. We talked about it for 15 minutes. A big thing that came out was the Oculus Rift pricing for VR. Now everyone loves VR. You know, I tried Google Cardboard. It's $5. You know, it's pretty good. Oculus Rift is $600. That's a lot of money, Biggs.
It's a lot of money. I was surprised when I found out how much money it was. I was thinking, why wouldn't you just go and get? Because do they still sell the development version?
You might be able to get it on eBay.
Because I'm thinking, why don't you just go get one of them? So much cheaper.
Yeah, the dev kits were very cheap. They're like $300, right?
Yeah, a lot cheaper.
And
I know they sell like an Xbox controller with the Oculus Rift. And
so
other stuff.
The representative of Oculus did a Q&A, and he kind of talked about the pricing. He said something along the lines of, I created, he created false expectation. I think one thing that came out was that somebody, I think he said something. He's a bad people person. He said something along the lines of, to run an Oculus system, you need an investment of $1,500. That is including the PC to run it. So he said you need an Oculus Rift and a PC to run it. You need like a 970, like GTX 970 computer capable. Now, some people heard that and they're like, you need an Oculus Rift is going to be $1,500. Hearing it right now, not worth it. So after the fact, he went out and said, no. I was talking about the PC. Including the PC, that's how much you need. The Oculus is going to be in the ballpark of like $350, whatever. He's just saying something so people don't think it's $1,500. Yeah. Offhand, completely like just trying to dial down the false expectation.
One thing, Patsy, apparently I'm a little bit low.
Oh, okay, I got you. I have no idea how to do that. Options. We're using TeamSpeak, and I have no idea how to.
Then you right click on my name, and you can set volume.
Change volume. Oh, I can turn you up.
Yeah.
Let's try this. Guys, tell me how that is. I turned it up by 2.5 decibels. So he went out and said $350 ballpark. Just trying to get people to calm down about the $1,500 price tag. Yeah. He did that with no knowledge of like the future R&D, like the amount of money it's going to take. He's just like, this is kind of what I'm hoping for. Mm-hmm. And then it comes out, ooh, it's going to be $600. And now he's created a false expectation that you could get an Oculus for $300.
It's crazy, especially to me. The first thing I thought about when I found out that price, it was like, but what about the others? Because VR is blowing up at the moment. Mm-hmm. Right? There's so many, like you said, Google Cardboard. I know it's not full VR compared to Oculus, but there are. I know Steam are releasing their own VR. I know PlayStation are going to release their own VR. How can you price something when you know there's so much competition coming out?
Okay. So here's the thing. I think there's you have Gear VR, HTC Vive, and Project Morpheus, which is Sony's. I don't know what the actual name is.
Yeah.
You got three others. So Gear VR uses your phone as the processing power to handle the VR, which isn't that fast. Yeah. And a Total Biscuit talked about this, where he said like, okay, Gear VR is $100. but you spent $800 on the phone to run it, and it's still not as good as the Oculus.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be as good because the Oculus demands that you have a PC to run it, and you could.
Yeah.
And yet again, though, you need a pretty hefty PC, but you spend a considerable amount on Gear VR because you need a Galaxy Note 5 or an S6 phone, or Galaxy S6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those aren't cheap. It's not like that's $100. You still need the phone. So by itself, it's worthless. We don't know much about HTC Vive. It might be a superior experience. It could also be as expensive. We don't know about the pricing of them yet.
Which one is the Steam one? 'Cause I know
HTC
Steam
Vive
one.
is the Steam one.
Oh, that's the Steam one, yeah.
Valve and HTC built that one. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have Sony's, which is probably going to use the processing power of a PS4.
Mm-hmm.
And, not nearly as good as a PC running a GTX 970. Severely weaker.
Yeah.
So, another thing is that this, like, did anyone buy the first smartwatch? Like,
No.
that was expensive, clunky, ugly. Don't buy the first generation of something. The first iPhone was terrible. Was gross. But the seventh one was significantly better. You got to wait a little bit.
It's like, if you had a development Oculus, would you buy the full release?
Well, the thing is that you weren't supposed to buy a dev kit. That's for developers.
Yeah, but a lot of people did, It was like extremely popular.
Yeah, especially for like YouTube. It was. That was an unintended thing that happened, like that consumers would be buying dev kits. That's not like, you don't buy like everything has a dev kit. Like you probably could, if you weren't a developer, you probably couldn't buy like a PS4 dev kit, but it existed. It was just a computer with the similar specs.
Yeah.
So there's never really an incentive to buy dev kits. But now the Oculus is like, you need the technology. The technology has to work. So you actually do get an Oculus Rift for $300. So that kind of had some unintentional popularity.
I guess one of the main questions is, right, is it really that good? Have you used one, and do you think is that, like you said, it's pretty good, but is it that good? Is it game changing?
Well, here's the thing. Maybe this one, I've heard that it's good. I've never used it.
I've never used the Oculus.
I've used the $5 Google Cardboard, and I was like amazed for like an hour just flying around Google Maps or Google Earth. That's one of the very simple apps, like a laggy, gross, like Google Earth flying game where you fly around the pre-rendered cities. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That was fun. That was $5. It was janky. Oculus Rift, I'm sure, uses much better technology. But here's the thing. Like, if you were to buy the first 3D TV, that was probably morbidly expensive for what you get.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that was also a fad. Now, 4K TVs, also super expensive. But guess what? If you wait like 3 years for the technology to catch up, like a normal person, you can get a 4K TV for like $500.
So you're saying to people, don't bother with the VR, just wait.
Just wait.
Wait for the next one.
Okay, here we go. VR also, this is a new medium. It's like video games. Like when the Atari 26 first came out, if people didn't buy that, then we wouldn't have the industry that we have right now, because you need people to fund it so that investors can see that there is an interest in this technology and not turn it into a fad. People didn't buy 3D TVs. One, there was no 3D movies or TV shows.
But Blu-ray players as well.
Yeah.
No one bought them.
No one bought them, but like, I see. I had a PS3, so I always had a Blu-ray player.
They're the only people I knew who had Blu-ray players, was PlayStation people.
Yeah, I can't imagine a lot of people that actually bought Blu-ray players. It's probably like if their DVD player died out, which probably happened a lot, unless you had a PS2 in which that thing lasts forever. Mm-hmm. Then you probably buy a Blu-ray player. But Blu-ray was kind of a short-lived thing because now you just stream movies. Mm-hmm. You don't need physical media.
Yeah.
We can almost get into the topic of streaming games. Is that a thing?
Oh yeah.
That's
Nvidia's new thing, right?
Oof. I'm not a fan of that. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that later. We can talk about digital media and physical media. What was I talking about? Well, I was talking about just Like if you bought a Blu-ray player, the PS3 was $600 when it first came out because it had a super expensive Blu-ray player. Now you can find one for $40.
Mm-hmm.
If you wait for the technology to catch up, it's going to be cheaper, much better experience on a consumer level. But you still need the enthusiasts with big pockets to be like, I want to be the first person with Oculus. And you're going to be that kid back in the 80s who had that Atari 2600 and had all the friends go to your house and say, wow, this is amazing.
Mm.
That's what you buy. That's what you get when you buy the first Oculus.
Because I've heard rumors that, and I don't think it's definitely not in the first Oculus because it's been released already, but I've heard rumors that they are working on, I don't know if it was the Steam one actually or it was Oculus, but they are working on tracking your eye movement.
So, yeah,
rather than full on head movement, because I always feel like that's a bit weird when I see people play it. They have to move their head to look left and right rather than just because when you look left and right, you look slightly with your eyes, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. Okay. The thing is that though, the Oculus Rift has a really big field of view, so you kind of have some wiggle room to look left and right. You actually it has the field of view of, I think, most of your peripheral vision. Like it's not just like a flat screen. It wraps around. What I remember seeing from a presentation on it.
Yeah.
So you do have that wiggle room, but I guess it would be more simulated if you could like, it would have to be
it'd be more immersive, wouldn't it? If you like, imagine you just move your eyes to the left and the screen moves with it.
It would have to be incredibly responsive though.
Yeah,
like you would.
Yeah, because think how fast your eyes move.
It would have to be like, it would have to be. Would 60 frames be enough for that? Like you could.
There's always that saying, isn't there, that you don't need more than 60 frames because that's all your eyes see.
No, you'll throw up if you have the screen. Like you need more than 60 frames for that to work.
Mm-hmm.
And that will come when all the aspects of the technology catch up. If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
You need the computers to run it. You need the technology of the eye tracking component to catch up. You need people to buy it. You need the technology of the Oculus in general to go down in price. I
would like to try it personally, but I just don't know if it's as good. I think it's good because it's new, but I don't know if it's as. I don't know if it will, because I remember when I was younger, right, and you'd always picture that thing. I've even said it to my friends when I was younger that, could you imagine if you could put like a helmet on and you was in the game?
Another thing is that you need it. Here we go. It depends on what games you play. I play a lot of driving sims. You know, as you know, I have like a wheel setup, the pedals, the gear shift, the wheel itself. I can feel it. If I had that VR, that would be the next step.
Oh, the VR is what sold me on Project Cars. I saw someone playing it with a VR, and I was like, I want a VR.
Yeah.
Play Project Cars.
Yeah,
and then look crazy, like with the seat, the wheel, the VR. I think it would be good then.
VR works. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
$600 for one game.
I've spent like $1,000 for one game. The wheel setup, I play like 3 games. Okay. It's how good that experience is. Like you're not like here we go. Another big game. You've heard of Elite Dangerous?
No.
It's a space sim and it has like a realistic, not even a scale model. It's just it's like a replica of the Milky Way galaxy with procedural generated stars that they can't see. Like there's a lot of like 100,000 or 200,000 stars that exist. They put them in the game. They procedurally generate planets. You get in a spaceship and you can fly to like any star in the Milky Way galaxy. That works with VR. Call of Duty, I don't know about that.
Yeah, but when I first thought of VR, I thought of that. I thought of Call of Duty and stuff like that. That was the honest opinion that went through my mind. I was like, could play it with that kind of game. That'd be super cool. Like to have a gun, just be like you're moving left and right, you know. But I don't know. I just don't feel like it's gonna be that good. It's different. It's new. It's exciting. But is it going to be next step of gaming? Because like I said, when I was younger, I always kind of thought to myself, oh, wouldn't it be so cool if you could just put a helmet on and you were in the game? I just don't feel like that's it yet.
We're not there yet. Here we go. I think it works for right now with the technology that we have. Limited head movement. and like stereoscopic 3D. It works for a couple games, like racing games, flying games, games where you're in a seat because you can't move your body. Horror games, yeah, sure. Right now, you can't move around yet. The HTC Vive, you can move in a room. Now, that's a completely different type of game. The like, here we go. And like, does it track your body? Like, does it track tilting?
What? The Oculus?
Yeah. Because
I think it might track head tilt, but not body. No.
Because if it can track body, like for example, if you're behind cover, and you try to tilt your head, does it know you're trying to tilt past the wall, or does it just think your head is turning sideways? It needs a body tracker for that.
Because I feel like, but with an Oculus, you still have to use a controller. Don't you feel like that takes away from some of the immersiveness? Though?
I think they have a controller where it's like imagine like Wii gamepads, like two nunchucks, and you can move around with your thumbs, and then you can hold the trigger.
Why do they sell it with an Xbox controller then?
Because I think it's not ready yet. I'm pretty sure.
Because that's the only thing. Like, I can imagine turning on this game and I'll be like, yeah, this is cool. I can look left, I look left, I look right, I look right. But then to walk, I gotta move my thumbs.
Let me see. Let me look it up. Oculus controller.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Though? Doesn't that like it's a bit?
Oh yeah. So I think that's just like a pack-in. Like, okay, it's very new. This is the first one on the market. The first one. Not like it's been around for a year. The first one. They don't even have the controller yet ready. Look up Oculus controller. You'll see what the controllers look like.
Okay.
And I think those might be still in development. They might be like a separate purchase.
Oculus controller, yeah.
Yeah, just look that up. That's what the controller looks like. It's like a Wii U nunchuck.
Oh, I think I've seen it. I think I know.
So you can grab things with it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. It looks like.
So it has the trigger button, and then you can reach and then hold the trigger button. You grab something, and then you can like twist it around and
The
stuff.
first thing I thought was it looked like a big Bluetooth earpiece.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they look like. So it literally is a Wii nunchuck controller. You have two buttons, and then the thumbstick. You have the trigger button, and it tracks your hand. I don't know what the little circle thing is for. I wish.
So they're pretty much, but that's what I mean. That's what we started off this conversation saying. Does it warrant the price?
Not yet.
It doesn't. To me, when like if it had that controller in it, I would say yes.
If it had the Oculus, those controllers, $300, I would buy it.
I think I agree. But just selling it with a regular Xbox controller, I don't think is worth it.
And like I'm saying, that comes later. That comes the second generation, third, fourth, fifth. You know, here we go. Do you remember? Have you seen what the first Samsung Galaxy phone looks like?
Probably.
It looks horrible. It looks disgusting. My aunt had the Samsung Galaxy 2. I remember seeing the 3. I'm like, okay, the 3 looks kind of cool. 720p. That's pretty good. Back then, I see the 2. It's like 480p. It's like a GameCube resolution. It was gross. But now they're the biggest phones on the market. Yeah. I mean, they should be. People like iPhones, but they're the most high-end phones.
A bit like iPods as well. Remember iPods? Remember the first iPod that came out? It was like huge.
Black backgrounds. You can't change the background.
Fortune. It was just like it was white and black. That was the screen, and you could
another
hold
thing
like 100 songs.
iPads. It's like, why do I want a giant iPod Touch? You know.
I always thought that.
I think iPads are going away because phones are now huge. But like even then, it's like what people. Here we go. There's always like there are always phones that were really huge, and by huge I mean like 4 inches. Like back then, it was like 4 inches was a huge phone. My phone is 6 inches screen, and that's like oh man, I wish I had a bigger phone. Like perception changes. You just need to give the technology time to catch up. Like we'll see adopters now. And the thing is that Oculus doesn't work just yet for all games. It works for some games.
Yeah, only games that develop it, right?
Like a side scroller doesn't really work on there's no point for Oculus Rift on a side scrolling game.
Yeah.
Maybe you could have it maybe you could build it around the Oculus where you turn and you can see parts of the level that are ahead of you and behind you. You know what I mean? Like, and it's in a circle instead of like side to side, but side scrollers are a relic of the technology that was available. Like, the first games were like electronic board games. It's like, oh, we can play ping pong, but really, really gimped. Like, this isn't fun. What are games? This sucks. It's like, this has no future. But it's when the technology advances that you start to see things that are like more creative. I don't know.
So you're kind of saying the price is high, but it's kind of warranted to get to where they want to be.
Yes.
Okay.
You need. That's how much it costs. Like,
yeah.
He said there's like very little profit margin. This is as cheap as we could get it feasibly. And it's brand new technology. If you go out and buy a 4K TV when it comes out, guess what? In 3 years you could buy the same one $2,000 cheaper.
Yeah. Well, I guess the only thing that could like get in their way now is this: if someone comes up with something better.
If the HTC Vive, it's like the PS4 effect, like E3, Xbox One, football games, 720p games, $500. PS4 is like 1080p, 60 FPS, $400, cheaper and better. Look where they're standing now.
Yeah.
The competition is really going to help, and the thing that I feel is going to kickstart this whole thing is that it's not just Oculus. You have 3 other competitors now. There is interest to make this work, and those competitors are going to drive this industry.
Would you get it in 2 years' time?
If you know me, I'm the guy that waits for a deal. I have no problem waiting.
The guy that waits for everything.
Yeah, it will always be better. You know what I mean? You can always buy a better graphics card in 6 months. It's just whether or not it's good enough for you and it's cheap enough for you to warrant buying it, knowing that a better one will come out in a year.
Yeah.
Because like if it's $100, if they get down to like $100, it will be widespread. That'll come in like 8 years, maybe even 6.
That would never happen though, would it? Because like, look at consoles now; they've been out for so long. They're still $300.
No, you can buy a PS3 for like $100.
Yeah, but the latest and newest stuff,
Well, you'll see the latest and newest stuff will always be $600, no matter what.
Look at consoles now. Like, arguably, PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, they are the same. They're not that much better than not 360, Xbox One. Sorry, they are the same. They're not that like Xbox One is not that much better than an Xbox 360. You're not missing out on a lot if you haven't got an Xbox One. So I can see why the price on the Xbox One and them new consoles are still arguably a bit cheaper than what they were, let's say, 5 years ago.
Another thing is that it's what consumerist expectations. I look at a PS3, I'm like, okay, I want that. If I wait a couple years, it'll be $100. I could buy one. I could buy one at a flea market for like $20, whatever. Who cares? Now, these companies convince us, oh, you need the new one. It's so much better, isn't it? Look at this. Look at the graphics. You don't need it. You don't even need you don't need the PS3. You convince yourself that you need it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I want to play. Like, do you really like? If you're the guy that plays Madden, do you really need a PS4? You could play it on a PS1. I will buy you Madden in a PS1 for $5 and change. And now you can emulate a PS1. You can emulate PS2. I can run DS games on my phone. Why do I need a 3DS?
I don't get me started on emulators. I love them. They're amazing.
You convince yourself you need this junk. You don't need it. The technology caught up. Now go buy the thing you wanted, but now you want something else.
It is crazy because it's like I was saying with that. It is, to me, like the Xbox 360 and the PS3, the jump to like PS4 and Xbox One, it wasn't that big, was it?
There's a reason for that.
It's one of the smallest, in my opinion, it's one of the smallest jumps in console history. Like a lot of the jumps before that were so big and so different, but this one, it's just more powerful hardware. So it's basically like you're getting better FPS. That's it.
So there's a reason for that. And PC gaming is kind of taken off as well for some reasons. One is that technology, like at least for the type of games we play now, first-person shooters, we've kind of gotten to the point where like if you increase if you double the amount of triangles in a model from PS3 to PS4, you can't. It's harder to tell the difference. And if you do it again, if you double it again, it's gonna be even more hard to tell the difference because we already reached a point of like, okay, this is in the PS1. It's like, okay, there you can see that there's a body. PS2, you can have textures that resemble a face. PS3, you can have features. You can see the eyebrows. The nose has different depth. PS4, it's just a prettier version of that because we already have the facial features defined. It's like better textures, better resolution. This is on a face. Now, it depends on what, like for the first-person shooter, for example, you don't need more than a PS3 to play that game. For PS2, it's like not a good experience. Not good enough, not fast enough. Now, that type of game we play now has been perfected. We now can run it on any hardware. Now, every time there was a console jump, there was a different type of game we played. PS1, we played some platformers because that's what we could actually run. It's like a simple platformer that's kind of in 3D, cute graphics because if we try to do realism, it's going to be gross. Now, PS2, you could do more gritty graphics because you have the textures to back that up. PS3, you can now have environments, like really good linear environments, some pretty good open world. Nowadays, you can do really good open world. Open world games are as easy to do, or not as easy to do, just like as common right now as, what is it? Like the first-person shooter was for PS3. Every game is open world.
Well, I guess it kind of depends on what type of person you are, because I've had this conversation before with someone else, and it was around the time where I was buying my PC for gaming, and I was like, oh, I need this, I need that, I need this, based on what people have told me and what I've read. Like, you need this graphics card to run this game, blah 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 blah. But when I saw it for myself, and I saw a game that ran on like ultra settings compared to a game that ran on medium settings, I was just like, is that it? Is that the difference? Like, it is literally the difference between seeing leaves on a tree in more detail than not, if you know what I mean.
But
like,
the graphics.
Yeah, and I don't, but that's why I said it kind of depends what type of person you are. Like, I'm not that type of person. I will happily turn a game down to mediums just so I can run it, rather than have to have it on ultra, where some people, the game's ruined if they can't play it on like the best settings, and you can't have anti-aliasing maxed out and stuff like that. It doesn't bother me. I watched a video, I think you watched him, Linus, right?
Yeah.
He showed the difference between textures, and he was showing like how it runs on a different graphics card. I don't think the video was exactly about what I'm talking about, but he was showing the difference.
That's what you noticed, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, is that it? He was showing like a Battlefield 4, whatever it was, the railing with ultra and medium, whatever, and the difference was you could see the detail in the railing more in ultra than you could in medium. And I'm like, is that it?
Yeah.
Is that, it's not game changing, is it? You could still like play the game. I don't know. To me, I'm not one of them people that are just like crazy, have to have the best of the best kind of thing.
I think here's the lie that graphics card manufacturers tell you, and because before you wanted to play Doom 3 or Doom, but not like Doom 3. Doom 3 was for PS3, like Doom. You couldn't run it on your mom's computer. You had to buy the graphics card. Now you can run your games on anything. You can run on anything. It doesn't matter. There's no game you cannot play on like a pretty cheap system. Now, if there was a game you couldn't play, you would buy the graphics card. But people buy graphics card because, like, it's not as pretty. That's the difference. Before, you bought a graphics card because you couldn't play a game and you want to play a game. I bought this computer because I wanted to play Minecraft. I could feasibly not play Minecraft. I couldn't. And now that I've succeeded, and before I convinced myself I need a computer. I don't need a computer. I think the time I wanted a computer, though, was when we were trying to run Attack of the Beach Team, and I couldn't run it. That's when I wanted to get a new PC.
That's when you wanted a new computer badly.
But then I realized I don't need this. I don't need to buy a computer for Attack of the Beach Team. Who cares? People convince themselves I need this because the graphics are better. And it's almost a thing like, you can't run ultra settings here. Play on low. Low's not low. That's pretty intense. It's low still good.
I think I saw, and this was back. This isn't PS4 or Xbox One days, but I think it was back on like Xbox 360, PS3 days. Again, it's around the time when I was looking at PC stuff, and it was kind of more. They were comparing it. They were saying, medium PC graphics is closer to console graphics than anything else. Like you have a PlayStation 4, you're literally playing on medium PC graphics. When you get all these people saying, "Oh, you can't. What you only play on medium?" Like that's console. Look how many people play on console.
And here another thing is that what is low graphics? Who defines low? They call it low, but low's not low. You want to see low graphics? Open up your PS2 and play Jack and Daxter. That's low.
PS1.
Yeah, PS1. Like that's low. This isn't low. This is like it's like, oh, that's pretty good. Oh, good. Oh, this is fair. Oh, it's pretty decent. That's the graphic settings that like I see in my head. A PS4, even if it was low, does it look low? You say, wow, this is so low. Graphics suck. Oh, disgusting. My eyes.
Yeah.
No, not really. I mean, the big thing now is a decision that developers make to prioritize low frame rate versus high.
Performance.
Yeah. They should really. One thing is like they should prioritize performance, and that's kind of like.
So.
One thing is that on PC you get to choose that. You can say, oh, I want graphics. Oh, I want performance. I don't care about this or that.
Well,
you have the choice.
Yeah, I know you have the choice, but I think on console games are always optimized for performance.
They're really optimized. Like I mean, nowadays I think you can buy a PC for the price of like a PS4, but the PS4 keeps going down. Like, I hand you $300. Build me a PC that can run this. Now, okay, this was going to the second point. My first point was that graphics increasing don't really matter right now because there's no games that are really taxing in a meaningful way. Like, oh, the trees are pretty, but like, does it create an alternate experience that's much superior? No. Another thing is that when the PS3 and Xbox 360 came out, these were consoles that were equivalent to like $900 PCs. Xbox was like $500, PS3 was $600.
Yeah.
Xbox 360 was faster. So it was almost like you're getting a $1,000, $900 PC for $500.
Yeah.
That's why the jump right now is a lot smaller than the PS2. Because
PC gaming has become so popular.
Well, it's because before you were buying a $1,000 PC back then, and now you're buying a $400 PC right now. If you were buying a $1,000 PC as a console and they sell it for a loss, you probably get some. You'd have less naysayers. On console versus PC because they'd be more similar. Now it's like, oh my god, my PS4 doesn't have the grass that I like. Oh no, gotta buy a PC.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, that's another reason for the small jump is that they're not really like giving you as much of a deal as they were before. Even with the PS3, $600, it's like buying a $900 PC. Like. You literally couldn't build a PC that was faster for at least a year or two.
It's funny though because today I literally said something along these lines. Was that, you can buy a PS4 or an Xbox One for $300, or you could buy a PC for $900 to $1,000.
Yeah, it's what you want to get out of it though.
But the games, right? The games on PlayStation, on Xbox One, sorry, in England. Are like £50, which is like $90 to $80.
Ooh,
that's insane. Wouldn't you, as a parent, right? Wouldn't you rather buy your kid a $1,000 PC, which could arguably last them for 3 to 4 years, if they're an enthusiast,
if they're not a bigot?
Yeah, 3 to 4 years, and the games are like 50% cheaper.
Another thing. Okay, in my area, as Deal Hunter USA. I don't have the problem, but it's what you expect. It's like your expectations. We just built my brother his PC.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he still buys expensive games. He doesn't buy the cheaper games just because you have a PC. You don't get.
But it's still cheaper on PC though.
It is cheaper, of course. I don't deny that. If you buy at face value and you're not Deal Finder.
I don't know how they warrant such a expensive price for console game.
Well, that's because you buy games when they first come out.
Yeah, but I was in like a supermarket today, and I saw, what was it? I think it was, oh no, I think it was like Battlefront, and it was still £44, and I was like,
It's $40 over here. You can buy Battlefront for like $40.
oh, it's £44 over here, which is like what, $78, something like that,
Well,
which is crazy.
I think the way I go about it, if you don't buy new, that's dumb. On PC, you buy digital. You buy something that doesn't exist. So why not buy a used game that's kind of sticky because it's no difference, same game. At that point, you start to get more deals. Like, you have any GameStops over there?
No, we don't have GameStop.
Do you have any used game stores at all?
Yeah, it's called Game.
It's called Game.
Yeah, just Game without the stop.
Wow, it's not copywritten at all.
Game and Game Station.
Games. Okay, that sounds a little bit more reasonable. I primarily buy from GameStop. I mean, yeah, you can't. I can't say that like buying a new digital game from Steam is the same as going out and buying a used copy that someone already bought with the funds not going directly to a developer. But I don't know.
Are you a person who likes to have the physical copy rather than the digital copy?
Yes, by far. I hate digital. At all. Like I will not. I have a shelf. Games go on the shelf. I buy games just because it looks nice. And the thing,
I used to be like that. I used to have like a rack in my room where I would like stack all my games. But you know what? I'm just digital now. I think it's so much easier with Steam and stuff.
it is, but like I don't know. I'm one of the guys like oh, they're gonna take my games away. I can't. I don't own the games. You know, I own something that doesn't exist. I own some code on my hard drive. If I have my game, it'll work forever. Also,
you're gonna be one of them ones in like 30 years time. You're gonna be bringing.
I'm not gonna give up my games.
All your old consoles and all your old games at Christmas. You're like, let's play this.
No, that's me right now. I have my PS2 hooked up to my TV. I'll play Okay, here we go. Battlefront came out. People are like, this game sucks. People come over my house all the time. Let's play Battlefront 2. You still have that? I gave that away when I was a kid. Best game ever. And they relive their childhood. You can't get that on PC. Oh yeah, you can emulate, but it's not. Yeah, it's not the same. You're holding the controller and you can't go past 3 feet away because it's wired to the console.
Yeah, I have had that problem with emulators before, where it's like it's not the same.
It's not the same
with a keyboard than it is on the controller.
And you could go to great lengths to simulate the experience. You can get a wired Bluetooth PS2 controller. You can turn the resolution down.
No, is it? I've tried to play like Nintendo 64 games with like a PlayStation controller. It's not the same.
It's not the same. I bought a Nintendo 64 because I'm like, I want to play this game, and guess what? It's magical. You don't get that. But kids nowadays are growing up on Steam and not owning content. The thing, look at movies. You don't own movies anymore. You just stream them, and then when you turn off the Netflix, when you turn off the internet, you don't own those movies anymore. All you have is the memory of them. That's where games are headed. And I don't like it one bit.
I don't like like you said. I don't like the idea of streaming games. I think that's a bit.
Here's what scares me. What is it? PlayStation Now is really good. If you have a solid internet connection, there's zero latency. It's as good.
Is it streamed games? Is it?
Yeah, you stream games for a limited time. Like it's kind of expensive right now, but it's gonna get cheaper. Just like Oculus, it's gonna get cheaper. And you're not going to own your games anymore. And guess what? Just like Steam, you can't buy a physical PC game. They don't sell them.
You know what's hard, though?
What?
It's like, you have that, right? You have PlayStation Now. You get these games. You pay to stream them. You don't pay your bill, all your games are gone.
All of them.
Every game is gone.
Every single game. It's going that way. It's going that way, just like Netflix. You know, before, like, and they do it slowly. You don't notice. The next generation, they don't care about physical games. They don't want sticky games on their shelf. They want it on a hard drive. Graphics. So if you want the best experience, PC, the best, you want leaves? You want leaves floating to the ground? You're not, no physical for you. You gotta do digital. You're forced. You can't walk into a store and buy a physical PC game that isn't like The Witcher and GTA. Yeah. Impossible. and it becomes outdated. Certain games don't even run on new PCs. If you buy a game made for like Windows XP, ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna work on your system.
Yeah.
I sound like a radical console activist.
You do. You sound like, don't take my games.
Don't take my games. You can't take my PlayStation 3 games. You know how cheap PlayStation 3 games are right now?
What's that saying? That famous saying?
What?
You can take our lives, but you can't take our freedom.
Yeah.
Games.
Live free or die. I walked into like a freaking Target, and I bought like a PS3 game, Dungeon Siege 3. It was $5 brand new. I walk into GameStop every day. I'm like, I'm gonna buy a $1 game. Who cares? Deals are out there. You're just not looking for them.
You are the bargain hunter.
PC nerds. If I was really obsessed about my bargain, I would probably buy Steam sales, but I don't care. I like
You
my
still
PS.
haven't got a PC because you're still waiting for the bargain.
No, here we go though. Like, okay, people are like, oh, PC's cheaper. I bought Borderlands 2 for $3 for PS3, brand new. You guys don't even know how to find deals. You guys are lazy.
Steam sale, that's my deals.
Yeah, but like, who cares? You don't own that. You own a license. Here we go. You remember this? Have you ever heard of Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
Yes, movie, yeah.
Oh, they made a game. You know about that one?
Oh no, I never played it. No.
Okay, it was a pretty cool game. It's like based on some old Genesis beat 'em up games. Very fun. You can't buy it anywhere. It was only released digitally, and it doesn't exist anymore. If you don't have it on your console, or your PC, it's gone. You can't get it.
Flappy Birds.
Like Flappy Birds, like PT, doesn't exist anymore. And God forbid you wipe your hard drive like a normal person to keep things clean. It doesn't exist. You cannot download it again. Maybe I didn't even download PT. I was really upset. I was like, man, I wish I had PT. And now it literally doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it never existed. Like it was never made. But if I had that freaking disc on my shelf, guess what? Let's play some PT. You're like, oh my God, you have PT? Let's play that.
Well, talking about that disc on your shelf and stuff.
Yeah.
What about? So, that was how I used to play with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Was playing games with my friends came
On the
round my
couch.
house. On the couch. That was it. Like, I was saying to you earlier, like maybe I'm a different generation to a lot of the people who watch my videos and stuff like that. But
You're probably one of those nerds that played outside.
I played outside all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Like, my first online gaming experience was in 2006. That was the first time I ever played online gaming. It was a football game, and it was the most amazing thing in the world. It was around the time I got an Xbox One. It was the first time. Probably had it a bit before
Xbox
that,
360.
yeah, Xbox 360. But to me, that's what I used to do. I could never play multiplayer unless someone came around my house or I went around their house, or if they didn't come around my house, I played outside with my friends on the street.
And
That is what we did. That is what we did.
And I guess that's lost. Like, I read online. Oh, there was another guy that did a podcast talking about the era of the arcade shops, or whatever they call them. You walk into there, you see like all these people, playing their games. It became a social thing. There were games that were too hard to beat, and there was one game that was like super cryptic, like you had no idea how to do it, but there was a notebook that someone left, and you would write down. They would write down like things that they found out, all the like cheats or things they found out how to beat each level.
Yeah.
And as a community, those people beat that game, collectively. You don't get that anymore. I mean, you kind of get that, but like, now it's like, how do I do this? And you go on Yahoo, and then they tell you, and then it's over.
Yeah, exactly.
Relic of the past. Like,
But do you think, right? You've got a little brother, right?
Yep.
Do you think kids or younger people nowadays, their life is too revolved around online?
yeah, well,
And this is coming from someone whose life is revolved around online right now. Like, it's my job, this is everything. And like,
I think
every day I'm online, but that's not how I grew up.
It's interesting. The way I lived, I went to like a private school. So, and I went to a private school in a town that was like 20 minutes away. So my friends did not live near me.
Yeah.
I did not. You know, they there was actually, even if I wanted to, there's no way I could just like knock on their door. I'd have to like make it a plan, and then it just becomes too much effort.
Play date.
Yeah, and then my dad would call it a play date. I'm just like, oh, don't say that. Don't say that out loud. Like I couldn't just walk down, you know, the street. I also lived on a very busy street, so I couldn't really go outside because cars would like whiz by you, and they'll kill you if you go on the street. So you know, as you would call it, I was a little bit sheltered. You know, I wasn't very much allowed to go outside, and I didn't understand at the time. I now know is that like I was super hyper. I would run around, and I probably would have gotten killed by a car because they go like way too fast. They go like 40 outside my house, like a crazy person.
It's crazy to me because I remember when I was younger, right? And my parents would say all these crazy things like, "Oh, when I was younger, we used to do this. You guys don't know how lucky you got it." Blah blah blah. All this stuff.
Like what?
I don't know. Like, I guess I could kind of relate it to like us playing just game consoles. Like when I said to you like how my friends would come round and that we would just sit there all day playing game consoles, and they'd be like, "Oh, you guys should be out playing and stuff like that." Well, we did out and play, but it would just be like we'd play the game consoles and stuff. But to me now, I see myself saying that about kids today.
You only learn in retrospect.
It's so funny though because I'm like, because back when I was younger, without fail, like between the ages of when I was like, I don't know, 14, 13, like that, without fail, no matter what not private, but what street you drove down, where not like a main street, but like a street, residential street, there was always kids playing out the front.
Yeah.
No matter what street it was, you'd always see like a group of kids just doing whatever, playing football or just do whatever. It doesn't matter. You'd always see it. But now you drive around, you don't see any of that. You don't see. I don't ever see kids playing out the front now. We call it playing out the front.
In England or California?
England.
Okay. So I can attest to this. So, like I was sheltered. Another thing is that I live where like it's pretty cold outside.
It's cold in England too.
Yeah, but like no one wants to play. Like I take a vacation yearly to Florida. It's hot there. It's always hot, and you actually do see people. They play basketball. They're outside having fun. Maybe it was more back then. People do play. Weather has an effect. I don't want to be outside. I could have fun inside. If I want to have fun, I don't have to get cold.
But I don't know. I feel like it's not the same, and I do feel like, especially
it's not
when
the
you
same.
say you see people playing basketball, is it older people or is it younger people?
I remember like I saw some little kids in Florida. They were riding their bikes and stuff together. They were walking around. I think there are a couple factors. Like back then, my dad, he lived in Puerto Rico for a while. So he's like, when I was a kid, you know, I used to go fishing for lobsters, diving off the rocks, you know, into the ocean. It was a wonderful time. A lot of my friends got killed doing that. I'm not going to let you do that. I think there's two things. It depends on your parents. At least in my case, my dad was like, you know, I used to play outside all the time. I don't know why my parents didn't notice that this is super dangerous, what I was doing. They were completely oblivious to the fact that I could have died at any moment doing the shit that I was doing. So they didn't let me do any of that stuff. And I was like, oh, whatever. So to alleviate that, they bought me a lot of games because I was bored. and I grew to make my own fun indoors.
Yeah, I guess like you said, it's a bit different because you said how you lived far from your friends.
I live far. Right? For my specific case, this is not like a reflection of everyone that is like an antisocial bum. My specific case, I didn't have the option to play outside and have fun. I would have loved to. I didn't learn how to ride my bike until I was 14, and it depresses me every time I think about it.
I kind of had, because I didn't live close to my school. It's not like I live close to it, but I didn't live far. But 9 times out of 10, the people I lived around wouldn't go to the same school as me. Yeah. I didn't live close to it. So I would kind of have two groups of friends. I would have my school friends and I would have my friends where I lived.
Yeah.
And so I would either sometimes arrange to go around my school friends' houses or when I got home, someone would knock on my door and say, like, "Are you coming out?"
Yeah, I never got like. I think the only person that lives near me in walking distance is my cousin. We did play a lot. We play a lot. He's like 25, and he was over yesterday actually. What were we playing? What were we playing? I don't even know. I don't remember. But I had a train of thought. I forgot. Biggs, I forgot. I was gonna talk about.
I was saying about how people. I didn't live close, and I had two groups of friends.
So I did have two groups of friends. My school group was always much bigger than my home group. Now
are you still friends with anyone from school?
Of course. Well, see now I can drive, so I can see my friends, and it's as if we thing is that I can see my friends more frequently. I don't, but as I get older, people start to have lives, so you can't really see them as frequently. Like it was only now that I start to have that social let's play a game right now element, and yet we're still inside.
Yeah.
You can't compete with games. You want to play stickball or you want to play Battlefront 2?
True.
Yeah. So, I think that's going away, but it lends itself to other social elements. Like man, people are always playing inside, but like here we are. Like it depends on what you do. The people that played social, that would have played, like in this day and age, you take this person, put them in the 80s where stickball was fun, they'd be playing stickball. Nowadays, they're on Minecraft servers being super social with other people and creating little communities and playing games together, just not with people they are face to face with.
That's strange though, because like you said, I spoke to a lot of subscribers and stuff, and like on Skype calls, and a lot of them have found some of their best friends,
and it's as if their real life friends are online,
and some of them have met. Like I think there was two girls. I think one, it was funny because one came from Zai's server and one was on my server, and they just became friends. And recently, I think they just went on holiday with each other.
Wow, it's pretty crazy.
Do you know what I mean? And that's crazy, isn't it? It is crazy.
It's all you almost meet more people being a nerd inside than outside.
But I feel like everybody's a nerd now. I feel like being a nerd's not even a thing.
Well, is being a nerd a bad thing?
No, that's what I mean. It's not even a thing now.
It's not. There's no.
Bad thing. It's just everybody's like that now.
Like, there's no stigma against staying indoors anymore. Before, it's like, oh man, what are you doing outside? Now it's like, I don't want my child being abducted by a predator. Stay inside, play a game. It's much safer. You don't have to be outside. You don't need to take risks. You don't want to be the parent that let his children walk around by himself and then he has an accident. It'd be horrific. I don't know. Society is a little bit different. It's still social.
Yeah.
It's still social. Hence, like, the MMO boom. And now it's kind of died down a little bit, but, you know, people have those social interactions. They just have them indoors instead of outdoors. What's the difference? You're inside a box, and the box is warm. What is outdoors? Doesn't matter.
It is crazy because, like, I know you can, like, especially with, like, Xboxes and stuff, you can literally talk to your friend while he's in his house and you're in your house, and it could still be school friends because you can still add each other on Xbox or whatever.
Yep.
You know.
But like, you know, it doesn't have to be a time dedication. Like, oh, I gotta go in 30 minutes, or like not like I don't, not like right now, but like I could have to go in 30 minutes. I could just call my bud. I mean, you could do that, but now you're having an interaction with him. You're playing a game, whatever. Yeah. Sometimes those bonds can be even stronger because you have the option to see them more often. At least I do. I can't just say, "Hey, come over." It's like, I'm working, bro. I can't come over. But I can play a game with them, play Gary's mod, whatever, and we can have a blast. And who cares? People, you know, from at face value, seem like they're not social anymore, but I feel like they're more social than they ever were, because they have more options to be social. So. I think that's
how long do we have left, Fancy?
All night long. It's been an hour. Is Anthony in here? He's in here.
Hey! Is he?
Yeah. So
check Skype quickly, Fancy. Check Skype quickly.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. So yeah, we can do that. We can read down some quick topics.
Okay.
We can actually save some of these for the next one. So the Powerball yesterday was 900.
Oh yeah.
was at a jackpot of $900 million.
Zai's sister messaged her and asked us to pick numbers for it.
Probably should have, because no one won.
We did pick numbers, but no one won. Yeah, I saw that.
So now the jackpot is at $1 billion.
It's insane.
That's a little bit much. So,
we actually had a conversation about this today, and I guess I can ask you it, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you won the $1 billion, it doesn't have to be the $1 billion. So if you won the lottery, what would you do with the money?
I quit YouTube.
Just kidding. Tell people? Would you be one of them people that wanted to go public and say, I won the $1 million, or would you keep it private?
Never.
Extent,
if you win the lottery.
To the extent where would you keep it private from your own family?
Okay. So here's the rule of lottery, and this is how not to ruin your life. Step 1, don't tell anyone. Except your immediate family. Like your mom.
I don't even know if I would tell my immediate family.
Really?
Maybe my mom, my dad.
Oh, that's what I mean. Immediate, like absolute as immediate as it gets. Don't tell your uncle. Don't tell your aunt.
Coming out of nowhere.
Don't tell anyone else. Just immediate. Say, Mom, I won the lottery. Don't tell anyone, because they'll be asking for my money, and suddenly you have all these friends.
Yeah.
That want to play stickball with you. Don't tell anyone.
How would you manage it? Because you're always gonna have these people that know you have money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna. Would you support them for the rest of their life, or would you give them something and say, like, here you go.
Here's the thing.
This is you to kickstart your life. Do something with
Here's
it.
the thing. Usually, like, it's like a sum of $5 million. Like when problems happen, when it's at $1 billion. If you want $1 billion, help some people. Go ahead. But if you only have like $5 million, that's not a lot of money. People are like, okay, man, my house is, I got foreclosing. I got to keep on my mortgage. I could use $20,000. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And $5 million is not a lot of money. You can spend that very easily. 900 million, you can help more people. Who cares? And the way I would go about it is like, I'm gonna give you a small gift, because I'm going to be smart with my, I would be like, I want to invest in companies. I want to do some good. I also want to have some cars. But like at first, don't tell anyone. Keep it secret. Make a business plan. Make a life plan. Set aside what you want. Don't.
See, I wouldn't necessarily call it, like you said, you'd help some people. Of course, I would help people, but I feel like if people knew that you had that money, I feel like then they start acting different.
No, yeah, it's them. It's like oh, I've
like, of course, if I had $1 billion and my uncle came to me and said, like, I'm in trouble, blah blah blah, I need to pay for an operation, I would do it. Yeah,
but it's like, hey man, I spent all my money on this brand new car in anticipation that you would help pay for my house that I now no longer have money for.
Because he knows you have money.
Yeah, I don't do that. I'm gonna be the cynic and say that, like, go live your life, butthole. I'm sorry, I don't know you. Like, if you're in trouble, if you're ever in trouble, yes. But if you make dumb decisions, like if I didn't have $900 million, what do you wouldn't? Would you be doing this? Would you be making stupid decisions?
My view on it was that if I did win some money like that, I would give immediate family a sum, like a sum of money,
and say, "Don't bug me."
Well, kind of, yeah, and to say, like, do whatever you want for it. This is your kickstart in life, for all of us. Do whatever you want with this money. If they come to me in 3-4 years' time and said it's all gone, I'll be like,
nope.
Well, that's your fault. I gave you a
gift,
that kickstart that not many people can have. So you ruined that, and I don't know what I would do. And that's immediate.
That's a reflection on their personality as well. It's like, okay, these aren't they, like, can they even can like, if you had that much money and you gave someone, like, I don't know, not everyone can handle a humongous sum like that. And okay, and the difference is that this is like $1 billion. It's not like small money, like $5 million or even $100,000. Oh, you want $100,000? I need this, I need that. That goes quickly.
$1 billion is more money you know what to do with.
$1 billion is like Mark Zuckerberg's giving away like all of his money because he has no idea what to do with. This conversation doesn't work as well when it's $1 billion, because who cares when you have $1 billion? I'll give you cash, whatever. I won't live long enough to spend it. But I probably moved to a nicer city. want people touching my house. If it was $5 million, that's where it gets like, or like $1 million, that's where it gets tricky.
But let's flip it on its head, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you had an uncle who won the $1 billion. How would you be?
That's his. That's not mine.
You see, you wouldn't like.
What would I do if?
Hey, my favorite uncle.
Yeah, no, I'm not like that. Okay, here we go.
No, I wouldn't be like that either. I wouldn't be like.
What was your life plan if your uncle didn't just so happen to win millions of dollars?
Yeah.
Do what you were doing before. You're perfectly fine without him.
I wouldn't be like that either because it's like one of my cousins. He's in like stocks and shares and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think middle of last year sometime, there was a few of us in the family knew that he was about to make his like first million, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and like from like his stocks and shares and stuff. But
What they think is like, oh man, you just won the lottery.
yeah, I'm not. Me and that cousin, we're cousins, we're family, but we've never. He's not my closest cousin to me. He's never really been the closest cousin. It's not like we hang out like my other cousin who did YouTube. Me and him hang out all the time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's different. But I wasn't all of a sudden going to be like, "Hey, I've just remembered your number on my phone."
Yeah,
because you're about.
Yeah, that's why I say immediate family, like like absolute immediate. Like you talked to this person yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Immediate family. Like if someone is wealthy, don't live beyond your means. I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Take action so you don't have to ask people for money in general.
Yeah,
because that's just don't be a charity case.
it is crazy though.
There are situations, yes, like would my life benefit? Like let's say I could, like man, I can't even. I don't even know. I'm sure there's certain things like
What would you do with it though? What would you do with it?
What I'd probably send a lot of people to college because I'd probably start many scholarships because I find that super important education. Because then you can make your own money and not bug me. That
was kind of my mentality of it. Just like give people a kickstart in life because you've got the
that's
the
the thing.
resources to do that now.
If someone's asking for money, give them like full ride to college. That's not even that much. It's like $200,000. Go to a private college. You can't spend that.
Mm.
There we go. Now do something. You want money? Here we go. Here's a that would be more valuable than just giving them cash.
You know, there would be people out there that would not be grateful for that.
No, and that's not the type of that's where I get that's not the type of people you want to associate yourself with. I just had a stroke just there. I'm like, oh no, oh no, it's weird. I wouldn't know what to buy. I just invest. I probably I have a lot of hobbies. I'm having a stroke again.
Are you one of them people that would buy like a huge mansion that you didn't know what to do with?
Not really.
I don't. I would never do that. I would personally buy a nice size house, probably about maybe 4 or 5 bedrooms. That'd be it.
See, I'm the kind. I like hobbies. I do a lot of like intricate things. Like I used to play cello, or I do YouTube now. It's my hobby, unfortunately. But I would like space to do activities. Like I have a house, but like give me a huge garage where I can build things. I don't know. Like I find like money doesn't bring you happiness unless you're me, because then I can do fun things like make swords for a living. I don't know. It depends on who you are and how interactive you are. Like think of it as a tool. Some people will just spend it on things, and guess what? When you die, you can't take those things with you. It's stuck here. So.
Yeah, I've never been that type of person though to be like, I want to live in a mansion.
Like that. What does that do?
Too many things I know what to do with. No, I want enough space to be comfortable. That is it.
Like comfort is more valuable to me.
Yeah,
like
100%.
I probably collect things. Tom Hanks collects expensive typewriters with his money. That's what he does. I can appreciate that. I probably wouldn't have to go deal hunting anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's a lot of fun things I could think of doing. I would do fun things, like I don't know. I collect swords. I would just collect things at this point.
You just have you'd need to buy.
The thing is that
the things you've collected.
When I go deal hunting, I have more fun finding the deal than actually playing the game. Like I just found like Dishonored for $3.
Yeah.
So now I have to like up the ante because like I could just buy it. I have no reason to buy a game for $3. I'll probably collect paintings. I go on Craigslist, find some instruments, collect those things. Because at the end of the day, like, you still need you need a sense of discovery for you to be happy. Like that wonderment, you need to tap into that, and you don't get that when you're ultra rich. So you go watch a reality show. They're just getting drunk skydiving. Like, how's that fun? I don't know. Yeah, I know. So I think we
need to go.
Yeah. So I've overstayed my welcome. So this has been episode 2 of the Pseudo-Serious podcast, which is officially, like, you know, we've embodied that name at this point.
Yeah.
So if you enjoyed this, be sure to check us out around this time next week on Sunday, because we have some topics that we didn't actually get to. We'd love to get to them next week. So at this point, thank you all for watching. Stay fancy, my friends, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.